I got loyalty, got royalty inside.
Oh, me? No, I'm just sorry. My name's Simone Grace. My Instagram is _Grace Simone. And you should follow my podcast. It's _Saving Grace, you know? You gotta save your grace and you don't have peace.
Hey y'all, I'm Tiara. Follow me at Tiara Janae, Doctor in the Making.
What's the deal with your girl Honey Blue? You can follow me at Honey Blue with 2 U's. Peace and love. You talking to me? Hi, I'm Sai. And then my Instagram is Sunflower Sign. You go ahead and follow that, okay? You want some tea?
Hey guys, I'm Ania. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. We'll put it in the description below.
What's the deal, y'all? So we are back with another video. For this segment today, we're gonna do something called the sweet and the juice. And with that, we have a group of black women, my friends actually, and we're just gonna have like an open discussion, you know, with some questions. So let's get to it. For the first question, I have to ask you all, if you're willing to answer, okay? How is dating for you? I wanna ask that question without asking the question with a question. Huh? Okay. Question.
Oh, just how is dating in general?
Okay, you know what? I'll just ask the entire question. How is dating for you? Question. Do you think that you face any challenges that non-black women would?
I feel like dating for everyone is like kind of the same. Like you gotta test different people out and like see if you feel them. If you don't feel them, then you're just moving to the next.
Anybody feel different?
Go ahead. That was good. I don't know. I guess I go because I'm like understanding dating right now. So like, I don't know. Generally, dating for me is like not a thing. Like I've never really been a person to date. I think it's just because like part of me feels like whoever I end up like meeting, I'll just end up meeting them. You know what I mean? I've never really been adamant to like go out and like find people to talk to like see if I like them, because I don't know, it makes me feel like I'm ingenuine or something. Like I have to like always act repeatedly a certain type of me when I meet different people to like have them be interested in me. So like dating has never really been anything that's a fan of mine. Like if I end up like meeting somebody somewhere, or like, you know, I have a homie, we've been friends for a minute or something like that, that's usually how it's been for me. Yeah. But I never really like dating because like I don't like having to like repeat, like over reintroduce myself. Like it's just irritating. But I'm learning though, like
It's like if it happens, it happens.
Kind of like I'm not really tripping.
You know.
Yeah, I mean it's just too much. I don't know why. I've never really liked that. And then
It's like a profile you have to literally say. Like you're like, this is my name, this is what I do. It's not very
So when I'm dating, it's like I dated okay, don't judge me, okay? I dated a Hispanic, I've dated a Filipino, I've dated a white, I've dated blacks. Like it's just like I have to have a different approach. I feel like there's certain things I feel like I can't do around a white man when I'm dating like a white man or a Filipino, because I feel like I'll be criticized, like I'll be judged in a way.
That's the problem. It's like if you're not your authentic self in the begining, when will you ever be that?
Man.
No matter.
You know,
I feel like that brings up the test of vulnerability.
right, yeah, I gotta.
I think that vulnerability is like a big thing in dating. I think that people, like especially black women specifically, we kind of hold back on showing our vulnerable sides, because in society we're looked at as this strong black woman that has to hold it down, and so being vulnerable is the opposite of that. So I feel like we battle with ourselves internally about when do we want to show this vulnerability. Is this person worthy of our vulnerable selves? Because that is a self where you're defenseless. And in a society like where we all like growing up in, we always have to have our guards up, because we never know if somebody on our left and right when our intersectionality. So I think that vulnerability is like a big thing in dating. Just like Ari and Zai was saying, it's annoying to like keep showing this vulnerable side just for it to get abused.
Honestly, I feel that way too. Like when it comes to getting close to somebody, I really be like, okay, maybe I should take a couple steps back. Like I don't know.
But you gotta chill out. You can't be too
much. I'm like, I don't know if I'm getting too comfortable. Or you don't think I'm being aggressive. So I'm like, I'm gonna fall back. Right.
Yeah.
I'm ignoring days.
But I feel like that's going to like to have to like not be your full self or something.
What was it like growing up for you? have you ever had any racial remarks made towards you?
Surprisingly, I've never been put in that position, but if it happens, I'm gonna have to fight somebody, because I don't play that.
Cause
But
you
I grew up around like white people, Latinos, and like it's never happened to me. That when I was around black people, I'm too whitewashed for them, but I'm too black for them. And I don't know, it was just the normal thing.
I was the same way growing up. Like I feel like now as I'm approaching my adulthood, I'm finally like having my own identity, and I feel like people see that. But growing up, I definitely was that girl like, oh, she thinks she's all that. She's white, or like she's so smart. Like especially for me because I grew up in like an all black neighborhood in Carson, but my parents put me in all the private schools. So like I went to this Christian school, and literally I went there first grade, and it was all white people. By the time I graduated 8th grade, it was all black. All the white people left, and it was literally one day that we were on a field trip, and my school was a Christian school, and the pastor was this white man who was very racist, and his son attended the school. And we were in a bus one day, and he said, raise your hand if you're dead. And then he's like, all the black people would raise their hand. And he said that in the bus, like, and I'm the only one who heard that, so I'm like, what you say? He's like,
in the 8th grade?
wow.
I was in the 6th grade, and he was an 8th grader, and he literally said that, and I was like, oh, okay, like, I see what this is like. And then my 8th grade year, I was valedictorian. They were like, how is she valedictorian? Like, she must have cheated.
That would make me
And
feel
it was like that for me, and I like my whole life for me, I kind of grew up feeling like, I don't know, like my identity was something that was trying to hold me back, because how could she be black and smart? How could she be black, smart, and know how to dress and stuff? Like, it was always something that like I dealt with, and I used to hate that part of it, because now everybody looking at me as she thinks she all that, when it's like, no, I'm what God made me. That's
Period. Period. Being unapologetically you, sis.
Girl, I'm working on it, man. Every day it's a journey.
I guess I'll go because like growing up for me was interesting. I didn't really like fit in a lot with like my people when I was younger. In the sense of like, I definitely feel like understanding now that I'm older, like what colorism is in my community. Like I really experienced that a lot when I was growing up. I went to Broad Acres when I was little, which is in Carson, and like everybody, it's a black, like majority black school, very few Latinos, and I was a new kid. I moved to a lot of schools growing up, so like I was a new girl in like 4th grade. Everyone's like, who is she? Like she thinks she cute. She got green eyes. Where's this little girl coming from? And I'm just like trying to just be 4th grader. I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to figure it out. But it was very challenging. Like I got bullied a lot. I used to get like beat up and like stuff. I didn't really like defend myself when I was younger because I wasn't about that fighting life. Like I couldn't fight, so I just was not trying to do all that. And like that was hard because growing up like in different spaces like where my people were, it was hard for me to like just feel comfortable because I feel like I had to like act like you don't act that black. Like even the way I dress, like growing up, like people look at me like, oh, you don't dress this specific type of way, like as if we as African people who are all over the diaspora dress one certain way. So it's just like, I don't know. So I dealt with a lot of just like trying to figure out my own personal identity. But yeah, when I got to high school, I went to art school. So like that kind of helped me just be expressive. And like I really didn't care at that point, like what I looked like who I was. Like I'm a black woman. My people are all across the land, and like, it's just my life has completely transformed after that. Like even just what I do, like, being an African Studies major and like studying my people, like because I care about us understanding our differences and like knowing where we come from.
One thing that I went through, I actually had a few racial incidents, but I want to mention this one. In high school, when I was in AMA Carson, Carson's split into different academies. So Anita's in there too. There's very few black girls in there. And it's all
like
Asian.
3 black girls.
Yes, I'd never seen her, but for some reason she knew who I was, and I was like, I don't know.
I just saw you. I don't even remember being in the same class as you. I really don't.
We were in the same exact class. Wow. But so I eventually switched out of that academy, and like I guess a lot of Carson students knew like, oh, she's that black girl who's in AMA. So when I got into one of the science classes, there was this Hispanic boy behind me during the test, and he was like, oh, she's the only house nigga in here. And I'm like, I turned around, but check this. I turned around and I said, can you repeat that, please? I stood up and I got really, really, like my adrenaline started rushing because I knew like this was something bad. And I'm such a good person, so I'm like, why does something like this have to happen to me? So I began to like kind of get a little agitated with him because he was laughing and like the people around him were laughing. And the teacher like came over and told us like, hey, can you guys keep your voice down? Bri, I'm not going to send you out of the class if you don't sit down. Now I have a problem because I'm not the issue. So after I addressed it and I told him the situation, he kicked me out of the class and the boy got to stay in the classroom. Now the thing about my teacher he has a black wife. So it's like, how can you be a white man dating a black wife, having a black wife and a black child, and not see the problem here? So I just see like the society we live in, and it gets very like emotional. Like I just can't take it. I did get bullied, especially on the softball team, being the only one of few black women.
Girl, me too. I was on softball too. I was the only black girl. But I was like,
all Hispanics.
And a lot of you, I mean, y'all share a lot of experiences being born and raised. Like here in LA, my experience is a little bit different because I'm from San Diego. So for me, I grew up around nothing but blacks and Mexicans, or Hispanics, I'm sorry. But then I transitioned in middle school due to, some family stuff going on. Went from going to this super diverse area, 30 minutes from the border, to a city called Marietta, which is predominantly white, which is in Inland Empire. And even that transition, me and my siblings, there were 6 of us living together at the time, just attending that school and being like one of the couple of black people. So then you're the black people, and then all of a sudden you gravitate towards the other black people. So now we have just, this group of black people that we have to defend ourselves against, because it's like, okay, we have 90% of the school is white. Us black people, we clearly got to stick together. So for us, for me growing up, it was always kind of hard, especially because I can identify with y'all, where it was an elementary school into a magnet school, like an hour away from my house. So for me, I would come back to the hood, and all of a sudden, because I talk like this, and because I know my math, and I can say ask and not ask, I'm all of a sudden like pointed as, she's too white for us. Like, you not hood, you not this, you right, like you whitewash, you square. And like, as I grow up and I continue my education, like I went to school, I got a master's, I'm getting a doctorate, and I'm just sitting here like, y'all want to sit here and all of a sudden be like, oh, you doing your thing, Rollie. Right, you know me? So I'm just like, but I'm like,
now they're inside.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden I want to come and, support and all that, but I'm like, I was teased about that. Right, like I was not having it. But then it's like, now that I'm here, y'all kind of see, the difference from where I'm at now to where we were. It's like, I don't know why I'm viewed so differently, and all of a sudden y'all trying to kick it. Like,
I agree with everything you just said. Like, you didn't hit the nail. That's everything. Like, even to the part about just being that black student that would look for all the black people at school. Because I relate, like, I go to this college, it's all white people. It's a private school, it's Ivy League, it's called Northwestern, it's in Chicago, and it's all white people. And so, like, literally all the black people, we have to stick together. Like, I'm a STEM major, so I study neuroscience, and every time I'm taking a science class, I literally will sit in a row with only black people. Like, yeah, no, we gonna stick together. We take our exams together. I'm saving seats, bro. I'm like, no, my friends sitting there, I'm sitting there too. Like, yeah. I'm like, hey, Zoom, y'all, we FaceTime, we're not playing. That's so real though, and that's so real. How when you go home. Like, now that I'm in college, now that they see, like, oh, she finna go to medical school. They like, oh, Simone, that's my smart girl. I'm like, but when I was in high school, you said I was a square and I couldn't go to the party with y'all. Where that happened? But now you see that I can party and do the grades. Now it's a difference. This term they taught us was a new black aesthetic. And that's this notion that we're not gonna allow anything to limit us or to box us into one narrative. Because society wants you to. White people want you to just, oh, that's that black ghetto person. Yeah. No, I'm black. I like rock. I like country. I like R&B. I like jazz. I like classical music, because guess what? I'm anything I can want to be. And when you finally have the power to know that you can do anything you want to do, then it's like nobody can control you. Like, growing up now, I feel like my personal identity has given me the right spots. And I feel that me not, like, yeah, I have a certain version of myself that I'll show in an interview, but I still hold on to my blackness, because holding on to that will allow the right people to meet me. Because when I would go in and just be like, hello, my name's Simone, like I want this job, because it would be someone fake saying, yeah, you know, because if you act fake, you're going to attract fake. But when you act genuine, you attract genuine people. And so now I feel like when I go into any space, I'm just Simone. And you take that or you leave it. But regardless, I know that there's a better opportunity coming that will embrace me for me.
My name has an apostrophe in it.
I'm
I'm not about to tell you I'm anything else other than that.
Right.
Is it pronounced Tiara? No, it's pronounced Tiara, sweetheart. Get it right. Do not call me Tiara. I will not respond to you.
Before they even they look at Inia, that's how you say it.
They be like, they sitting there like this. I'm like, this Zion.
Or they'll be like, I'm here, or the bitch like, I want to mess with Inia, me, I'm here. Or they say it wrong, like Inia, they're like, okay, remember that.
Yeah, no, I don't want to tell you.
Right.
Bro, everybody that want to pronounce my name want me to be Hispanic. They be like, Simone.
Really?
Simone. Yes, all the stuff when I was going to
You
be like,
sitting there like,
Simone.
oh,
I'm
you know that
like,
name.
who is Simone? They be like, Simon. I'm like, where's the Simon at? Right at the point, I just start here. They're like, I'm Simon. I'm like, Simon, that was a Kill and Chill episode when it's like, he's like Malachi Malik.
It was Denise. He said, do you nice? What? You know how to pronunciate. You're a teacher, right?
Oh, you do it.
Some people are honestly, I feel like some people are too like lazy to get it right. Like it's just too hard. Or they'll say like your middle name or a last name.
Everyone doing that to your Edmund say my name is Ariana. It's just like Ari, but it's still like extra. And I love it. I'm like a cat. It's cool. Like always call me Ari, bro. Like it's cool.
No, being y'all friends, I honestly probably misspelled all y'all names. So the last question, okay, we're gonna close this off. Why do you think there is a color segregation within the Black community between light skin and dark skin? So we're gonna go this way.
Oh my God. So I'm gonna just say a sentence. They want to separate us. They don't want us to unite because Black people united is unstoppable and they fear that. So, and y'all know who they are, and so I'm not gonna elaborate that more, but since slavery, since like literally they wanted us to separate us. Why did they separate families? Because they didn't want us to revolt and be powerful. So when they have us separating ourselves with our color, we're doing their job for them. You know that another part of it is that self-hate. When you're comparing skin tones, that is self-hate of Blackness. That's anti-Blackness. And if you are anti-Black towards your own people, then you don't love yourself. And you can never win. You can never empower yourself until you love yourself.
We have to understand that root of that self-hatred. Like, well, why do I think like, oh, like you think you bad because you light skin, or you think you bad because you dark, whatever the case may be, whatever your preference is, like none of that matters. And again, going back to like, well, who is the enemy and who is the root of all of this? You know, Malcolm X teaches us that, you know, the enemy, if the enemy thinks for you, you won't even have to think for yourself. So if you constantly have this notion in your mind of, well, I'm not messing with her because they look this way or they're this skin tone. Like you already have someone thinking for you, preoccupying your own thoughts, and then you have no room to even assess why you are even thinking that in the first place. So that just kind of goes back into historically why we think that way. But growing up now, I'm just, that does not matter to me, because at the end of the day, like I care about my people. I care about protecting our sisters and our brothers. And there's so much, again, when it comes to unity. Like we already know the FBI literally shot down all of our programs, from the Black Panther Party to all that. All of our revolutions have been literally stopped by the federal bureau. So it's like we have to think about how powerful our unity is in that respect. So I mean, everything. I'm gonna agree with everything y'all probably saying, but that's just my cup of tea right there.
Okay.
I definitely, from them even
putting different boats in different islands, putting them in different countries. You feel me? Like they're separating us. They don't want us to be together. They don't want us to be strong because they know that we are unstoppable. Like we taught you guys everything, so how dare you try to segregate, try to colonize, try to stop us from being great. You feel me? So, and it even goes down to slavery. Like they put us in slavery, and then now they teach us that our history started from slavery.
Right.
And that's unacceptable because they're basically telling us that we started from being weak, from being nothing. Like we aren't kings and queens. You feel me? Like let's really go down to why y'all shot the noses off the pharaohs. Let's go down to every language that y'all stole and every culture that y'all stole. Let's go down to that. Let's go down to how we look back in the day, how we are the original people. Well, we're not gonna go that deep, right? Because y'all don't want us to know. They don't teach us that. So we gotta literally look. You feel me? Like once you educate yourself and you educate people around you, it's just kind of like, okay, I understand where y'all going with this. Like, I understand what y'all trying to do. Y'all don't want us to be great. Y'all even create these movies to empower us, but who are the writers? What was the purpose of that? Y'all want to distract us. Because y'all always have a system. Y'all always have a plan. And y'all think even with this coronavirus, it's like, y'all trying to make it seem as if we the ones dying, but no, y'all want to kill us. Right. That's what y'all want to do. So it's just like, honestly, we all need to wake up. We all need to be united. You feel me? Like, I don't care if you look, I don't care if you're albino till you black as the dirt. I don't care. You feel me? Like, you're my people. I'm going to protect you. I'm here for my people. You feel me? And I feel like everybody should be like that. And I feel like when it comes to everybody else, don't get mad at us for being happy. Don't get mad at us for preaching and letting everybody know our history, our voice, and how it matters. You feel me? Like, oh, when we talk about Black Lives Matter, y'all want to all lives matter, or you know, everybody in every different community, y'all want to put y'all little parts in it. You feel me? It's like, oh, but what about us? And what about us? The Hispanics got it too. The Asian got it too. Like, we understand that, but let us speak. Y'all had y'all time to speak. They've been shushing us, and they want to keep shushing us. They want to kill us off. You feel me? They don't want our voice to be heard. That's why they kill all of our leaders. They don't want us to have knowledge, you feel me? So when we get the knowledge and we get it and they don't know where we got it from, they're like, all right, we need a virus. We need a vaccine. Right. We need to inject y'all. We got kids at. No, y'all not doing that. People think I'm crazy for never getting vaccines, but that's my parents. You feel me? That's what I was taught. So it's like, honestly, when they come out with more vaccines and they're like, oh, why don't you do this? Why are you anti-vax? Do you really want to have this conversation? Because you really trust the government. You really trust the government. Right. Why would you trust them? That's a little tea. A lot of tea. I know that whole when black people be like, oh, Black Lives Matter, and like they try to switch the subject to like, oh, well, all lives matter, or like blue lives matter. It's just like, why can't we say something about black people without them saying, oh, this race does that too, or like this does that? It's just like, I just feel like it's just repetitive. Like, you're anti-human. You don't care about us. Just like, no, we're just trying to embrace black people right now, and you're feeling some type of way about it. For what?
It's hard to even comment with everything that y'all said because
said it all.
Right, because it's what y'all said, and then unfortunately it's like, and then some. So it definitely goes back to when, you know, even Mr. Lynch was talking about how we need to pin black people against each other, dependent or strictly because of their skin color, because as long as you allow for black people to eat themselves up, we don't have to do it for them. So it's the fact that that is something that unfortunately is instilled in black people from back then. Stress is definitely something that is given off to your child in utero. So if you are living under the mindset of, okay, I have to present this color, or I have to be presented this color, this is something you're giving off to your babies. This is something that they eventually give off to others. So there's definitely a lack of education in that area because not many people know where this whole light skin, dark skin beef even comes from. And y'all think it's due to music and the girls in the videos are all like this. Nah, bro, it's deeper than that. It's way deeper than that, and it's so deep that if you took that opportunity to explore that, you might fuck around and scare yourself. Because then it's like when you realize that it's something that is embedded in you, it's like, damn, why isn't this something that I can choose to change? Instead, I'm gonna walk around with the same mentality, give it off, oh, I'm this skin color, I'm this, that, and the third, I'm gonna fight her because she's this, that.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point in all that? Like, all we're doing is feeding into what these white people want.
Exactly.
Bro, we all come from the same place. We really do. Like, color or not, bro, like, that's the thing about being black. Black ain't really got no specific color.
Okay, cool. Can I speak?
Go ahead.
Literally every single time I have a conversation that's like to this topic, like that's the, I was talking about my friend about this yesterday, but like we as a people, like I really strongly believe like have to start reclaiming Africa for sure. Like I mean I'm African and like I'm not sure if like you're familiar with this ideology, but you know Africa spelled with a K, and that is to speak to how, you know, like Kebulan, which was like the original name of Africa as a continent. You know, and just and meaning being inclusive to the whole diaspora, you know what I mean? And that's exactly what you're saying. When we continue to just kind of lay the work of our ancestors there without thinking critically to move it forward and really assess, well, what maybe black shouldn't be part of race. And if we forget that race is a construct that was created to divide in the first place. Race isn't a thing that was just there. It was created to divide. So if I keep saying I'm black, then I'm literally perpetuating the system of racism that was created to divide us anyway. But if I say I'm African, then that ties me to a continent. That ties me to a nation. So now I have an understanding of who I really am. We ain't supposed to be here. We're not. None of us are supposed to be here at all. Like we're really not. We're here because you know what I mean. We were forced to be here. So therefore, I'm always be proud of where I'm from. I ain't been there yet, but I know damn well I've been there because I believe in reincarnation. I've been there before. I've been there already, baby.
Some are lacking, you know, the knowledge of what it even means to be black. They've taken it out of our history books. You know, we're lost. We don't have history books.
Literally,
you know?
I'm gonna tell a story. Like one of my exams from my African American Studies class, we had a like vocab test, and one of the questions is, "What is the definition of black?" That was the only question I didn't know how to answer, and I just felt like, what the heck? I thought this would be the easiest question. Literally, black and slave were two questions on the test where I was just like. Literally, I was like, I'm black for the answer for black, and I got it wrong. I'm like, what?
Right.
The teacher's like, you didn't elaborate. I was like, I didn't know what to say. Like, and I said, that's not a coincidence that when you think of what does the word black really mean, besides it being a color, what does it mean? Like,
There is no name.
you know, and that's just so crazy to me.
Right. There's no hierarchy. There's no pedestal to this. We're all on the same ground, the same level. We're all the same. And I think that's something that we need to embrace more and stop trying, well, for some, we need to stop trying to be higher up. Like, no, we're, to a white man, we just black. You know, we all black. We're going to be that same black. So why does it matter?
All I am is a dividing factor.
Right. I got one more question, actually.
Okay, so I was getting a little sad. Like,
Yeah. Brace yourself. Okay.
get ready for that.
It ain't even that deep. Okay. How do y'all feel about the word nigga?
Oh, we talking about
Like, if you're not black, don't say it at all. At all. That I unfollow people when I see a nigga. I unfollow, block. I can't stand that. And then some people think that it's okay to say it. Like, I remember one time I posted on my story, like, if you're not black, don't say the N-word. That's all I put. This like Mexican guy replied back saying, why can't we say it? I was just like, because you're not black, and he just didn't get it. So he kept kept saying like just different stuff on why he thinks he should say it. I'm just like, if you feel like you have to explain yourself to say it, like, just don't say it. Like, there's no point in you saying, what are you gaining from saying it besides just like offending a lot of black people, you know?
Does anyone else feel differently?
I feel like I understand, you know, our defense is usually something that we learned, like, oh, we reclaim the word, like, this is something that we call each other, please leave it alone, like, this is our word, this is something we reclaim. But I feel like we should just stop saying it in general. I feel like, if anything, we need to come a little more correct, because we're much more than that, you feel me? So I feel like, honestly, the word should just go away. But every race feels as if they've claimed it, so it's never gonna go away. King, queen, be respectful. We're really goddesses, but I mean, if you want to go deep, we're gods and, you know, goddesses. But the nigga, it could go left, honestly. I feel like I have been a victim of letting people that are not black when I wasn't, you know, so pro-black, when I didn't know about myself and who I was and who my people were.
Yeah.
And I am a victim of that. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. But honestly, I feel like now, I just feel like y'all don't need to say it, and we don't need to either. That's just me though.
I feel that for sure. We had this similar conversation in BSU a couple of like semesters ago, and you know, like I hear the talk about like reclaiming the word, and again, it's gonna be used. It is what it is. But I mean, like you could say, "What's up, brother? Like, how you doing?" Like that's what I like. That's how like I'm starting to talk to my people now. It's just like, "What's up, sister? What's up, brother?" Because like it's just easy to say that. Even be like, "What up, sis?" Like I mean, it has the same energy behind what it's like. What up? You know what I mean? So it's like it's the same energy. It really just is the energy behind you saying the word. I don't think it's but you know, it's really not necessary to for what you could say something else, but to speak on like also what you're saying. You know, I think it's very childish when I feel other races feel like they have to defend themselves to say the word, because I had a similar experience too. Homie of mine is you know, Mexican, and he's like, well, I mean, I grew up in a like all black neighborhood, like all my friends are black, so like I feel like I can say the word, and it's just like that within itself is just miseducation, just because. Okay, so that's like me saying, oh, so like I grew up around all white people, so like I'm gonna start just overly straighten my hair. I'm gonna get blue contacts, and I'm gonna just like, I grew up around all white people, so I'm gonna start acting quote unquote white, or start like Europeanizing myself, like, you know what I mean? So I'm just, it's just like, just because you grew up a certain way does not mean you have to stay that way. Why would you want to stay in a state of ignorance if I have given you the fact already? Or like if somebody has already educated you, then you're choosing miseducation. That ain't on me no more, that's on you. Yeah. So it's like I feel kind of every side, but it's like it takes 2 seconds to say one other word. You just make a choice and then be deliberate about it. So I kind of just, that's my whole spiel on that.
Some people just don't want to grow. And that's sad. Like, why do you want to stay stagnant? That is just...
They're comfortable.
Even our own people, like just what you were saying, like people want to say, but I've been saying the N-word my whole life. Why did you stop now? Because you're trying to evolve. That's the goal. We're all trying to better ourselves. It's the same thing with stagnation and just, you know, that control, like trying to limit yourself when we're limitless. If you realize who you are, if you find who you are, then you'll realize that you deserve better. But if you don't know who you were, then you'll never know where you're going. And so that's just like, you have to look in the past in order to see your future. And people will just be like, it is what it is. Like, I go with the flow. I don't want to go with the flow. I want to create the flow.
I correct the people who say it around me. You know, it's not a word that I like to use. So I like to keep my peace, my energy around me positive. And I don't feel like that word is very positive. I call my brothers kings. I call my friends that are guys kings. Or even girls, because some girls be calling girls nigga. Like, sometimes, you know, we've even racialized it. I mean, we've genderized it. We've made it to where it's like for a guy to approach a guy, or like males, they call each other. Like, you never really hear like a guy call a female a nigga.
Right. I see what you mean.
You don't get that. They think it's disrespectful. So
what's up, my brother?
Right.
That sounds so good. Like, I love that. Queen, my whole day is made. Like, bro, today someone texted me, "Hey Queen, how you doing?" I said, "Oh, like, what you mean, bro? I hope you talking to me." Let me say you. I'm like, bro, literally, I love that. That's one thing I did want to touch on, bro. Like, this is something that I personally feel like, I would say it's kind of like an insecurity for me, but growing up, or like just even now, I feel like a lot of people would sometimes box me and say, "Oh, she's too friendly, she's too nice. Why does she want to be everybody's friend? Why is she why she calling every girl sis? Why she calling every girl queen?" I hate that so much. Like, you understand how much that irritates me, because it's like, why can't I love my black people? Why is there a limit of friends I gotta have? Why can I only talk to 5 girls and call them sis? No, we're all sisters, bro. If you don't love yourself enough, you will never have enough love to give to others.
Sisterhood is important.
I love this. Very important.
That's what it's all about. I really want to start doing this segment a lot. You know, the sweeter the juice is something that I plan to have like weekly, if possible. I want to get more black women. You know, just it's also a way for us to connect and unite. Which is exactly what we was talking about.
Yeah, I'm already thinking like that. You couldn't be friends.
Make sure y'all go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. You know, everything will be down in the description below. Their social medias. So stay tuned for the next Sweet of the Juice.
Peace and love, y'all.
Peace and love.